On one stormy night, just an average good teacher is out when she spots one of her homeroom students, Reiji, and he's out with a strange woman about to take a duo everlasting dip in the river. But the teacher, Yuri, she's a good teacher, helps this depressed kid out and nurses him at her home. And this kid is down in the dumps. Thank goodness for him having such a kind and caring homeroom teacher. But she's a freak. Not just a freak, but like actually evil. She's a full-on Yandere. In the future, she is willing to stop anyone and everyone just for this 17-year-old. While she's 30. But for now at least, she's just a freak. Making moves on this high schooler, which she profusely apologizes for, and starts venting about her sad 30-year-old teacher life, which somehow leads to an absolute physical taboo between the two, which leads to a horrible, prolonged relationship. And that's not even the most insane part of this manga. Boys Abyss. This guy has like 2 other side chicks he's porking throughout the story. This manga is the definition of slop trash TV drama. It's no masterpiece by any means, or even good by any means. But no matter what, you can't help but go chapter after chapter. This is a perfect manga to binge if you're looking to mentally eat like a whole 10-pack of zebra cakes that make you audibly exclaim after every bite. Back to the story. When Reiji is out with the other of his side hoes about to bone in the manga cafe, Yuri is right outside having a yandere meltdown. All because Reiji is with the only girl in this story his age. Yuri snitches and tries to ruin this girl's future. I promise you, in any other manga, these events would sound like major spoilers, but I don't think this takes away too much from the reading experience, because I'm purposefully staying away from the complete insane part of this story and taming down this manga by a surprising amount. For example, let's just say this relationship gets leaked. Yuri gets fired and legally cannot talk to Reiji anymore, which is a law instantly broken when they randomly meet on the street 3 months later. But fortunately, she seems to have turned a new leaf, which is what Reiji thinks after having a 30-second conversation with her. I guess we never learn anything about how truthful her apologies are. And at the end of this short exchange, she tells him to come visit her apartment sometime. That doesn't sound too great, but maybe this teacher actually has turned a new leaf. Or maybe Reiji is smart enough not to go visit her to, quote, return a key. And you would be very surprised to hear that Reiji visits this house to tell her that he lost the key. And the whole return the key thing was a trap the whole time to lure him in, because Yuri is now even more obsessed and in love with Reiji. But I guess really in the story it does seem like some type of redemption happens. When Reiji runs away from home to Tokyo as a very caring and responsible adult, Yuri goes on a full detective investigation by replacing him as his mother's child and living in his house. She finds out about like his whole tragic family history, ending up with her dramatically coming to Reiji's rescue to stop him from trying to take another everlasting dip with that woman again and free him from all his struggles in life. But once again, you've been expertly fooled, because nope, she's still in love with this 17-year-old boy that's been going on an extended mental breakdown for this whole manga. And he doesn't help himself at all when he calls her to give her some profound love speech for no reason. He doesn't even actually love her that much. He just wants to extend the manga for another 50 chapters. Either way, this just completely tears down what false sliver of real redemption her character had. because this fully grown, mature woman loses her marbles out in public and becomes a yandere again when she realizes that this 17-year-old boy is her entire fuel to live. So much so that she goes to his death pack side hoe to scold her over taking her man, or teenager. And when this teenager ends up calling his side piece while his other plaything is giving her detention, Yandere Yuri just takes her phone and goes back to town with Reiji. For the third time, Yuri is near a new redemption. When her grandpa dies, she is overjoyed by this fact. She can finally stop crushing over this kid like a teenage girl and sneak out of her house from her parents like a teenage girl to meet up with Reiji to end their taboo love. It all looks good when she has the conversation to end it, and it goes pretty good, and she's about to leave. But as soon as this door is about to shut off this woman once and for all, she turns around and they start kissing. And I'm not even shocked anymore. But then she starts talking about, you turn 18 in 2 months. Let's get married, leave the town, and be together forever. It was around this time when I was reading this, and I've never felt like I was wasting my time on this earth reading a story more than this manga. But I've also never wanted to see this to the end so much more in my life. I'm getting mentally obese by the second, because legit a page after this, he accidentally runs into his phoneless side piece, spends a night with her, and gets his sorry ass left by the only slightly commendable character in this whole thing. He already swore to a marriage with his teacher just to cry over a talking stage, leaving him less than a minute after the fact. And this goodbye really is for good. This girl goes missing from the planet for a whole week. No one can come in contact with her because Yandere Yuri has her stored in her closet. And this is all because this woman did a professional American football tackle to her after she dumped Reiji. But she's not even trapped in this closet. The door is not even locked. She's just super depressed. But I don't think that makes Yuri any less insane for keeping her as a pet in her closet. Over a 17-year-old boy. This manga might actually be absolute garbage. And it gets so much worse. When Reiji finds out, he decides to stay in his fiance's closet with his side piece so they can both be depressed in this closet for eternity. He holds her and tells her how much they love each other just to get out of the closet, bone his teacher right outside. Like, even with more context, what are they what is going on? While they're boning, he threatens her life if she does anything to his side piece in her closet, and he leaves. This is all building up for the climactic ending of the story, which, if you're thinking about reading this manga, do it if you feel numb and want to shoot yourself up with cheap thrills and drama. But even the most bygone manga slop tweaker can agree that this whole entire final act just trips and falls on all the insane themes it has introduced without concluding any of them. This manga is a one-night stand fever dream of a story. This video barely scratches the surface, and I feel guilty right now for even allowing the option for someone watching this to pick up this manga for themselves, abrupt ending or otherwise. Even though my videos are supposed to be manga recommendations, this is more like a manga warning. If you're gonna read this manga, at least bring protection. It's a little like Flowers of Evil, but even more insane and a lot worse, which, comparing it to Flowers of Evil in the first place, already isn't that positive of a statement. I can't give a proper conclusion on the Yandere teacher for this video because the manga couldn't even do that themselves. So subscribe for more bangers.